What's going on, everyone? You're tuned into the Air to Anchor report, giving you all things New York Jet and Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. First of all, let me start out by saying Happy New Year. It's 2025. Wishing all you, prosperity. Wishing you guys all a healthy, happy 2025. Whatever it is you got your sights on, reach for the stars. Make sure you go and grab it. First, I also want to thank everybody who has been supporting the show, making sure that we get this thing rolling. 2025 is here, baby. It's January 1st, and we coming to you with some content. So, just want to let y'all know how dedicated I am to this. Make sure I let y'all know and see me working. Trying to give you guys, football, from my perspective, from my take. And a lot of exciting things going on right now in the NFL, especially if you're a Buccaneers fan. So let's dive right into it and, let's see what we got. So first things first, right? You had the Buccaneers that needed to take care of business and beat the Carolina Panthers. They did that, and they did that, with ease, if you would. Not a lot of people knew what Carolina was bringing to the table. There was a lot of scratches coming into Sunday with people that didn't get starts, such as Chuba Hubbard and I believe J.C. Horn. Both of them did not play. So a couple of people in the secondary weren't on the field, not taking anything away from the Buccaneers, but, there's something to be said about this football game. Bucs handled business. They came in, they won big. And, let's just cover a little bit of the stats and a little bit of what they had to offer. Baker Mayfield came in 27 of 32, throwing for 359 yards, tying a season high record of 5 touchdown passes. Boy was out there going crazy, playing good football. Then you had Bucky Irving coming in, 20 rushes for 113 yards, 5.7 yards on the ground, with 4 receptions for 77 yards at 19.2 per reception. So, you have Baker Mayfield and you have Bucky Irving out there going crazy. Evans had a good game, had a great game, actually. 8 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns for 34 on the long. And then your notables, you had Culp out there with 3 receptions for 52 yards. You have McMillan, who his name keeps getting brought up in the conversation on the Bucs recaps. He found the end zone twice again with 5 receptions for 51 yards. That kid's going to be a problem, man. Buccaneers really got something going there. And the crazy thing about it is that they are doing all of this without Chris Godwin. So with McMillan stepping up and actually taking the place of Godwin, he's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job, actually. And the boy just keeps finding the end zone. So that little chemistry between McMillan and Baker, definitely going to be something to look forward to next year. Because, if they can keep doing that and you get back, a healthy Godwin, even though he's getting on the older half of his career, you got somebody that can slide up in there and, not miss without a beat. So Buccaneers looking promising. They obviously are going to have to figure out what they're going to do with Mike Evans. He's getting older, but definitely, a future Hall of Famer. And he just keeps getting better and better. So, Mike Evans, kudos to him. He only needs, I think, about 85 yards to get another 1,000-yard season. They out there and they clicking, right? We wanted the Bucs to have a good game. We wanted the Bucs to play clean football. They came out there, they did that. They handled business. So to say the least, right, it is the Carolina Panthers. And we're going to kind of go into that a little bit too about what this win means for the Buccaneers moving forward. But at the end of the day, if you look at what the Panthers did, you have Bryce Young out there. He went 15 for 28 with 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then Adam Thielen really kind of carved up the secondary of the Buccaneers, 5 receptions for 110 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns. But again, no Chuba Hubbard, no J.C. Horn, no secondary, notables that, I think you had 1 or 2 other people in the secondary that were out. That were kind of like last-minute game scratches. So I think once the Carolina Panthers figured out that Chuba Hubbard wasn't going, And J.C. Horn was going to be a scratch as well. They just kind of did what they did and, just kind of pulled a couple of players. So, it is what it is. But let's go into some other stuff. Baker ties the franchise record with 5 passing touchdowns again. He was just out there torching it. I didn't think he was going to have that much success through the air as he did. My keys to victory were really, to kind of get Bucky Irving started and get him going and really run the offense through him. But he really did a great job as well. So you could see, in football, you can run the ball. It's going to open up things on the outside. But Baker Mayfield, he had good protection. I think he was only sacked twice during that game. So kudos to the front line, for really holding him upright. But Baker Mayfield was just kind of playing possessed. So, great job to him and doing it on a clean game without any turnovers, right? Breaking that streak of the last 4 or 5 games with an interception, kind of cleaning that up before we get into the New Orleans game. Bucs basically had 5 possessions in the beginning of the game that were scoring drives. So again, that offense was just clicking, and that's what the Buccaneer fans really want to see, right? They want to see the Bucs playing good, high-powered, high-octane football on the offensive side of the ball, and they did that. First 5 possessions, they go down and they put points on the board. Mike Evans came in with 118 yards this game. After his 97, that leaves him with 915. So he needs 85 yards to go ahead and get that 1,000 yards with 1 game left with New Orleans. So no doubt about it, the Buccaneers, they got to play their starters, right? They need this win. It isn't exactly ideal on the way that they're going to get into the playoffs. The Falcons, I see the Falcons beating Carolina, but I don't see the Bucs losing to New Orleans. Hopefully that is the fact. But if the roles are reversed and the Falcons end up winning and they beat Carolina and then the Bucs end up losing this game, we're back to square one. Bucs are on the outside looking in. So before we get into the New Orleans game, let's talk about, this Panthers game for a minute. And really, the key to this is, was the Carolina Panthers just really that bad, or were the Bucs just really that good? My personal opinion and my take on it, I think it was a little bit of both. I think that the Buccaneers losing to Dallas was probably the best thing that can happen to them. Even though, they wanted that game, it was in Dallas. It was a big, a big primetime game that the Bucs had to win, be put on, on the front stage. But I think with that game and them losing that game, I think it really kind of fueled the fire for them to come back and start playing a little bit better football, playing like a better team like they know they are. So it's probably the best thing that could have happened to the Buccaneers with dropping that game to Dallas. It just gets the Bucs back on the straight path. It gets the ship steered in the right direction for them going into the playoffs. Now, if they can come in and they can give New Orleans, another high-powered offense and just kind of blow them out the water. Baker Mayfield, sitting with the baseball hat on the sideline, coming about, the second or third quarter. That'll be great confidence for the Buccaneers, and that's what you really want to see, right? You really want to see the Buccaneers go, handle business, make that game exactly what it's supposed to be, not close, and then move on and get into the playoffs. So, again, a little bit of both, right? I don't think anybody really thought Carolina was going to beat the Buccaneers, so, that was really just kind of in itself. But the Buccaneers, again, it's any given Sunday. Teams win, teams lose, and it's just the way the cookie crumbles. But, the Bucs took care of business, and they did it in a big way. Tail of the tape, though, really for what this game kind of brought to the table for the Bucs, they put up a total of 551 yards of total offense, which is insane. You're looking at 10 of 14 third down conversions, and you're looking at a time of possession of 41 minutes to 19 minutes. That is just crazy. That's just like, going in and just basically walking all over the other team, just not giving them the football, just keeping the offense on the field, just digging down, running the football, playing that real hard gridiron, nose to nose type of football where, you're just going to pound the other team. and they're not going to have any, they're not going to have anything they can do. So again, granted, we can only take it with a grain of salt. It is Carolina, right? Let the Bucs do this coming into New Orleans. New Orleans has a lot of banged up players, but they also, are riding their rookie quarterback right now. So he's going to get his opportunity to go out there, which I can't think of his name right now, but the kid is dynamic. He's got a super strong arm. He can move with out of the pocket with his legs. Very athletic. But at the end of the day, right, the New Orleans Saints, with their defense, pretty banged up. It just really shouldn't be a game that the Buccaneers lose. So one of the other things that we got to unpack is really how the playoff situation is going to come about. So, let's take this time to really kind of give some substance to the video with your division leaders right now in the NFC. You're looking at Detroit, 14-2. Philadelphia 13-3, and the Los Angeles Rams at 10-6. Tampa Bay comes in on the fourth right now at 9-7. The wild card race, you have Minnesota at 14-2, which is crazy to be 14-2 and be a wild card team. Then you got Washington at 11-5, and you got Green Bay at 11-5. So all three of the NFC wild card positions could change hands come Week 18. If the Minnesota Vikings beat the Detroit Lions, they'll jump into the number 1 seed, and Detroit will fall to the number 5 seed. But a Detroit win keeps the Lions at top and locks the Vikings in to the number 5th seed. So a lot of moving parts, right, with those two teams up there. If the Vikings get the number 5 seed, more than likely they're going to get the wild card round and come down to Tampa Bay. Washington basically just needs to beat the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday to remain in the number 6 seed position and likely set up a run it back with the Los Angeles Rams. Green Bay, they got to beat the Bears, and they have to hope that the Cowboys upset the Commanders in order for them to sneak up in the number 6 seed. So the number 7 seed right now. We'll take an opening round trip to Philly to face the Eagles, which is not an easy task. Eagles right now, the NFC East champions. Rams got to beat the Seattle Seahawks to lock into the number 3 seed. And if the Rams lose combined with a Tampa Bay Buccaneer win, the New Orleans Saints basically would flip the two division leaders. But, I really don't see that happening. Tampa Bay needs to beat New Orleans to clinch the NFC South title. But with that being said, the Atlanta Falcons, they can only win the NFC South with a win over Carolina and a Tampa Bay Buc loss. So if that does happen, then boom, Tampa Bay is out and the Falcons are in. But Atlanta can't qualify for the postseason as a wild card team. So really, they got to come in and they need a lot of help. They got to win their game, and they got to hope that the Buccaneers lose. So I hope all that made sense. If it didn't, run the video back. But really what you're going to see is, as you can see, my setup is getting better. So hopefully coming in through this new year, I get a little bit more toys to play with and make sure that, I can really give you guys some great content, but also, some quality stuff as well when it comes to the video and the audio and everything like that. So, so really I appreciate y'all tuning in. This is going straight to YouTube. So dial in, subscribe, hit the like button, show your boy some love. All right. 2025, man, it's up this year. All right. So with all that being said, holla at you.